What you're about to watch is not just a trend or a fantasy. It's real stories from real people, ordinary Americans who've either made the decision to leave the United States or are actively planning their exit. They're not celebrities, not influencers chasing passports for clout. They're people just like you who've looked around, taken stock of their lives, and decided that something needs to change. But let's be clear, leaving America isn't a spontaneous decision. Moving to a new country might look like a big leap, but the bigger challenge is actually getting out of the U.S. financially, emotionally, logistically. That takes planning. Serious, honest planning. Every person you'll hear from today has their own story, their own motivations, and their own advice. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. You're an individual. Your path will be yours alone. And that means you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Why do you want to leave? What are you running from or running toward? The truth is, the American dream is long dead. It's been buried under decades of inequality, debt, burnout, and a system designed to keep you working, not living. In America, you work to survive. In many other countries, people work and live. That difference matters. This video isn't about fear. It's about freedom, about the possibility that a better life might be possible elsewhere, but only if you plan for it, only if you prepare. So listen closely, think critically, and remember, this is your life. Make it count. But before we begin, please make sure you like the video so it reaches someone who needs to see this, someone that's preparing to leave but needs that little motivation. And if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel to give us a boost in the algorithm to push out more content like this.
A record number of Americans applied for UK citizenship in Q4 of 2024. After Trump's re-election, 1,700 Americans applied for citizenship to the UK, which was the largest number to do so in any quarter in over 2 decades. Under Trump's first term, there were also triple the number of Americans who gave up their U.S. citizenship in 2020 over the prior year. Other countries are expecting a similar uptick this time in applications for visas and citizenships. And some countries and towns are even, advertising directly to Americans who want to escape America. One Italian town launched a website that said, and I quote, "Are you worn out by global politics? Looking to embrace a more balanced lifestyle while securing new opportunities? It's time to start building your European escape in the stunning paradise of Sardinia." So definitely there is this interest in moving abroad, especially for people who are not in agreement with the current administration and all that is going on.
So you're thinking about leaving the United States to live abroad for, funsies, right? Here are some basic steps that I would start to take right away. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that the last one I'm going to mention is a thing, but it's a real thing and you should definitely do it. And by the way, this is coming from a fellow American who moved to France back in October 2023. Number 1, paperwork. Get your life in paperwork in order, okay? So you're gonna want your originals all together in the same place so you know where they are and they're secure and everything's good, but you'll also wanna digitize all of those important documents. So that's birth certificates, financial documents, tax documents, anything and everything you can think of that would be important to your life, and make sure to digitize those. Number 2, even if you're not ready yet, start researching. Even if you're not ready to pull the trigger on this and move tomorrow, just start researching. Start researching your options, see what's available, see what's out there so you're as informed as possible and you can make a decision once you're ready. Number 3, make sure your passport is in order. A lot of countries won't let you move to them if you, let's say, only have 6 months or a year left on your passport before it expires. Or sometimes you have to have a certain number of blank pages in your passport. If you need more blank pages, you can send it in and request additional pages to be added. If you need to renew it, get it renewed right away and make sure to ask for expedited processing. And number 4, the one I feel like most people don't know is even a thing, is go get your birth certificate apostille stamped. What you're going to want to do is order copies of your birth certificate from the state you were born in, and then you're going to send those in either via mail, or you can actually sometimes go to a physical location and get this done. Get them apostille stamped, which basically is an official seal that is attached to the birth certificate, and it allows you to use it in foreign countries for various paperwork needs. So let's say you are moving to another country, they most likely will request an apostille stamped birth certificate. So you just want to have a couple of those on hand in case you need them.
If you've decided you want to move out of the United States, this is what you do in a nutshell. First, you've got to pick a place. The world's big, it's beautiful. There are a lot of amazing places. Asia, Central and South America, Europe, lots of cool places. So get online, start studying different places, watch YouTube videos, and then go visit them. Number 2, make a plan. Figure out everything that you have to do to get from where you are now to where you want to be. You know, nobody breaks out of prison unless they make a prison break plan, and that's what you've got to do. Number 3, stay motivated. This is a long-term project. It's not something you're going to do right away. It took me 8 years from the time that I came up with the idea until I was finally able to implement it. So to stay motivated and stay excited, I visited the place often. Every day I would watch videos about it. Every morning while I had my cup of coffee, I would go over my plan and where I was at. You need to do things to stay motivated. Number 4, educate yourself about finances. So you're probably thinking that you can't access your 401k until you turn 65. And that's wrong. There's something called the IRS Rule of 55 to let you access your retirement funds at age 55. And if you're in public safety, even earlier. If you're not in a position where you can retire, study digital nomads. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet about them, YouTube videos on them, about how to work in other countries. Number 5, adopt a minimalistic lifestyle. That's going to help you in 2 ways. First of all, you're going to save money, a lot of money, because you're going to quit buying stuff, because you're going to refocus your life on what's important, not just filling your life with this consumerism. And that's the second point that's important, because when you get down to a place like this, there's no retail therapy here. Your life becomes very simple. You don't buy stuff because there isn't stuff to buy, and you need to get used to that. Number 6, learn the skills you need. When you are living somewhere else, you're going to need a whole different set of skills. You're going to need to be able to fix stuff. Like I have to fix broken ATVs. I didn't do that back in the United States. You need to make your own mayonnaise because you may not be able to get it. So all of these things that you can think about, learn the skills you need now. Number 7, take care of your relationships. One of the most common objections is, how do I maintain a relationship with my kids? And the answer is you start now and you build a good relationship, and then you learn how to foster that by ways other than just physically being there, using Zoom calls and text messages and phone calls a lot. We have access to each other digitally in a way we never did before, and you need to start working on that. Figure out who you want to be and start becoming that person. A lot of people want to move out of the country, not because they're running to someplace, but because they're running from something. Figure it out what in your life you are running away from and start working on those issues. If you don't like yourself where you're at, you're not going to like yourself somewhere else either. Decide who you want to be and become that person. Number 9, quit caring what other people think about what you're doing. There's going to be lots of people telling you that you're crazy, you shouldn't be going somewhere, that it's going to be dangerous, that you're going to be messing up your whole life. They don't know what they're talking about. You be you. Go and do it. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And number 10, always remember, you can pull this off.
I'm leaving the US in 327 days. So January 30th of 2026. The reason I'm picking that date is because I still want to work and I get paid 3 times in January. So I want to take advantage of that. But then after that, I'm leaving the US to move to Finland. And at that point, it's just like full sailing. And I'm not stressed out about it. I feel like, one, it's far, but it's a thing that it's been a dream of mine to always live outside of the country. And I chatted with one of my friends the other day, and I was talking to her and mentioning that I'll be moving out of the US. And the one thing that I remember that she did say is that you'll be living the dream that you wanted to. And then I thought about it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is true. Like, that's the one thing I've always said that I wanted to do. Even whenever we became really good friends before, that was the one thing I said I want, is to live out of the country. That's my biggest dream. And the fact that she said that, I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. So Finland, I'm coming for you, and I'm just super excited for this journey. So I'll be keeping you guys updated of all the things I'm doing to kind of get ready to leave the country as well.
If you want to move abroad, no new pets. Thinking about packing up your bags and moving out of the U.S.? Well, hold on a minute. Here's some advice from people who've done it and learned a few big lessons.
It's challenging to fly with animals, especially big dogs. There are certain airlines, a new one is called Bark Air, that allows you to bring animals on board. And then some people also split charter flights. I know there are so many pets in need, but there will be pets in need where you move.
When you're looking at if you can drive somewhere, you need to understand country by country the rules. So you need to first see, okay, can I exchange my US license from whichever state you're in, and it's state by state? Can I exchange that license in the new country I'm moving to? And then if not, is there an exam? So in Italy, you have to take it in Italian. There's just no other way.
I know that people tend to think that in-demand jobs are what they are in the US, which is high tech and so on. But in reality, it's more often teachers, nurses, and construction trades, especially in Europe.
Not every drug allowed in the States is allowed in different countries. Different countries have different restrictions for different prescriptions. So what may be easily available for you if you're reliant on a certain medication in the US may not be available when you're abroad.
You know, there's this anti-immigrant fever going on. Just think for a moment. You will now be the immigrant. It is not your country anymore. You are the immigrant. Are you going to a place that welcomes immigrants? Yeah, you're an American. You might think I'm a good immigrant. No, that doesn't mean you're a good immigrant. Keep in mind that you have to try to integrate. So from a social perspective, there are all kinds of things to think about.
If you are under the age of 30, you can apply for something called a working holiday visa. There's around 35 to 40 countries that offer this. Included in this list are the majority of European countries like Germany, all the Scandinavian countries, and Switzerland. But also in Oceania, you have Australia and New Zealand. If you're a citizen of the United States, you are practically guaranteed to get this. You have to have a little bit of money in your bank account to show that you can support yourself for a couple of months while you're there. So you do need a little bit of saving. But basically, you apply for this working holiday visa. It grants you 1 year entry into the country and allows you to work for 12 months in that country. So pick a country. I picked New Zealand. I did this for a year in New Zealand. Spruce up your resume or CV. Some of these countries ask for a CV instead. And fly to this country with your working holiday visa and find yourself a job, usually in like tourism or hospitality. Don't find a job at a small little restaurant or a cute little cafe. You need to find a job that will have long-term prospects for you. You can work at a restaurant or a cafe while you're looking for this bigger, proper job. Apply for jobs like crazy until you find the job that's right for you. And once you have that job, bust your ass. Work really hard. Show the employer that you're a good employee. Once your working holiday visa expires, there's a very good chance that they'll want to keep you as an employee. And then they will sponsor you for a visa. I had this opportunity in New Zealand. I was working for a ski resort and I was working for the winter season and they wanted me to stay on for the summer season. I just had different plans. And if it doesn't work out in one country, go to another country. You can keep doing this until you're 30. I really wish somebody told me this when I was 21. My life would be so different right now. Best of luck to you.
We're feeling even more of a sense of urgency to hurry up and get the heck out of here. So I'm going to share with you guys everything that I've been doing to get the ball rolling on this. And I've got some notes. So first, my husband and I both updated our resumes and our LinkedIns. We do not have work from anywhere in the world jobs, and we kind of need a job. So that's the first step for us. We need to find a way to make money outside of the country. And then I'll share with you guys a list of websites I've found where I've been applying us. I have also enrolled in the TEFL Academy, the level 5 course, so that I could teach English abroad. I have a background in early childhood education and I absolutely love kids and I used to want to be a teacher. So that is why I enrolled in that. And then we are downsizing all of our stuff. We've been going through everything, getting rid of things that are just trash. We have made like a giant pile of stuff for yard sale. We are getting our house prepared to sell it. And we are just really trying to move forward with this. Our plan is to sell our house and then move in with my mother-in-law until we get all of this figured out. But that in itself is a big move because we're in Nashville, Tennessee, and she's in Southern California. And we've already told all our family and friends that we're doing this. So the ball is rolling. It is just a matter of time and also hopefully we can get a job.
Please, if you are seeing this on your For You page, I need you to stick around and listen to this full video because it could save your life. This brings me absolutely no pleasure to say, but it's time to have a plan to leave. Whether you plan to implement it immediately or not, at the very bare minimum, you need to have an exit strategy ready to go. Trump has set up concentration camps, sanctioned the ICC, and now laid the legal groundwork necessary to commit a genocide here in the United States in black and white on the government website. This isn't the content that I had planned today, but I just feel like I can't sit without providing everything that I know to you guys and all of the resources that I have on how to leave the country safely. I'm a US citizen. I was born here, raised here, grew up like any other random white person here in the United States. And as an adult, I got my dual citizenship for a country in the EU. And so I want to share what I know on that. I also, before I got my dual citizenship, I left the country on my own at the age of 21 with no money. I was homeless before I left the country. So I know that a lot of people are worried about money and things like that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and try to share every single piece of information that I can. And the first thing that I want you to know is that if you do not already have your passport, please, 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 whatever you can do, get your passport as soon as possible. Whatever you can do, get your passport as soon as possible. I'm going to be creating a playlist and adding all of these videos for all these different situations and countries and options for different types of marginalized people in a playlist here. And if you have any questions or you think that your situation is too difficult or you don't know a way to find out how to deal with your situation, you don't think that you have any options, please leave your questions or anything like that in the comments and I'll do my best to try to help you guys figure something out. In disasters strike, there's something called the normalcy bias, which affects 70% of people. So it's a bias that makes you think that since things have always been normal, they're just going to continue to be normal. And that's what makes us woefully underprepared. That's what keeps us in harm's way. So even if you think everything will continue to be normal, please just have a plan. Just have an emergency backup plan. If you are someone that the normalcy bias does not affect, you're freaking out, you want to get out now, you are really upset, but you don't want to do it alone, I'm going to tell you right now, you might have to. You might have to. There's going to be a lot of people that you're not going to be able to convince. There's going to be a lot of people that you're not able to save. And you're still going to have to do what's right for yourself and your immediate family. It is better for you to leave first and to set up a soft landing for your other immediate friends and family overseas than it is for you to stay in danger with them and then nobody has an option to get out. I understand that some people may want to stay and fight. That's your prerogative, but not everybody is willing to risk their lives and their safety and their livelihoods. So I personally feel like this is a very deeply personal choice. But even if you are still planning to stay and fight, I still think you should have a plan in place. So get your passports, save every dollar that you're coming across, every single dollar, and leave a long comment, share, repost to help me get this information to the people that need it.